Okay, and good day, everybody, again. Here we are again at the next episodes of working on the Pixel Painter challenge application game. Um, and so I haven't really been doing much last week. Well, I mean, I've been doing a lot of things, but not so much for developing the game. I had a busy week, so I did look into a couple of things. Last time we were still working on making the outline and filling it up and those kind of things, and I discovered two utilities for that: the box fill and the flood fill. The box fill is basically a utility that, well, you give it 2 points, which is a upper left corner and a bottom right corner, for instance, and it will fill the whole box. Our shapes are not always square or rectangular, so it means that the box fill is not really an option. The flood fill um, was or is an option. It seems to be an option. The only thing is, I am a bit concerned that if I, for instance, fill a certain thing, and here you have the flood fill, it will fill. Oh, what the hell? Why is it doing that? That's a bit weird. I'm a bit afraid that it will ignore color, or well, no, it will not ignore color. That's a bit a problem. For instance, if I would, I'm going to make an outline. Make an outline again. How do I do the brush? If I make an outline, what I would want my flood fill to do is I want to fill exactly that part. I don't really understand why he does something funky like this. You would think probably because he can't find an outside edge. That's why you want to have a point. But this would work. The only problem is I'm pretty sure that if I somehow can get a color in, which I don't know how to change the color in here. Maybe you can't. Default brush, group brush, random brush, line brush. Okay, there's no color here. I can change the color of the tile map, of course, but that doesn't do anything because it changes the color completely. Paint with active brush. Anyway, I assume it is like in Paint, where Paint fills everything of a certain color. If I would hold it on here, where is my? If I hold it on here on the edge, then you can see it actually doesn't fill anything because it only fills what's white, which makes sense. It fills everything that is that color and nothing more. I think I already removed all my other sprites, so I can't really. Yeah. I don't really get sprites default. I can try to give it a different color, but it will change everything. Yeah, and not just. Yeah, okay, that's not gonna work. So, but anyway, so that's a bit my concern that the flood fill actually is not going to work. We can, oh, it's so small, the brush. And that might be problematic. Because, I mean, no point in doing a flood fill. Well, it would be still very complex to figure out which points I have to do flood fill because then it depends on the color there. And I think it just would be a lot easier to figure out which points are there all by yourself to fill in. Especially because I think you also have the option in Unity to fill multiple tiles. Is there no such thing as set tile? Wait, wrong key. You have set tile and you have set tiles. But I think set tiles also takes an array of, it takes two arrays. Huh? Yes, position array and then a tile array. Okay, but that doesn't. We even have a parameters ignore flags. Tile change data. Okay, you have two methods for it dependency with the set tiles. Okay. You also have remove tile flags. Oh, that's only one tile. Yeah. Okay. Set tiles block fills bounds with array of tiles. No, not interesting either. Okay, so I can try to go for the set tiles if that would increase performance. That wouldn't be too big of an issue. So it's stupid you have to create the tile over and over and over and over again. Well, you don't have to create over and over again. You just have to put it in the array, I guess, for so many times. Yeah. So anyway, so that would be a thing. Anyway, okay, but so recap a bit. Where were we with the game? You could. The idea was to click. You go somewhere else. You click again. Of course, here you can't click. You click here, and then you would have a line. You click here. You have another line, and you click here, and then it's closed, and you have a shape. And then you can start clicking somewhere else again. Doesn't matter where. That does not close the shape. So here, clicking will not work. So that's currently not very visible. So I first actually want to work on thinking of like making a line. I already had is valid line, which is good, but I should also get a private, and I guess it's a vector 3 int get line points positions, or interpolate. I don't know, maybe I could call it interpolate. That would also be an option. Get interpolate positions. Doesn't really matter too much. And this is actually also very easy because it's very similar. You do a delta x and delta y, and then what you do is you just have to step through delta x and delta y at the same time, I guess. Is that correct? But if one of the two is a 0, then you can't increase it. If both of them are 0, then you have to. But you have a delta x, delta y, so I think. I think I do have to work with an if. Can I not just. Actually, I should do a step functional. I should do step x. So this we know is delta x, but then I have to delete it again and divide it by the difference in y, I think. So that if I increase y by 1, I know how much I have to increase x, but the other one goes through as well. I think it indeed just depends. So if delta x is 0, then I do this. What do? I do I haven't even checked that the z actually. I just assumed the z will be the same. I probably should not assume, we should enforce it, but we can do it later. So how is this going to be? If the x is the same, then it's a vertical line. I can't just loop through x because that will be an empty loop. I do have to loop through y, but if it's the other way around, I can't loop through y. I would want to do something like for int step equals 0 and step smaller than steps. And then I would want to do, this should be an array, new factor 3 int, and then I say start.x plus step times delta x and start.y plus step, yeah, of course not 0, but here start.sets, for instance. That's actually what I like to do. My delta x would be 0, so that would be fine. It would be 0, and my delta y would be, well, actually it's not delta y, because delta y is a total difference step. So it's step y and step x. And step x equals delta x divided by, and then I think you do have to do math apps, or math max of delta x delta y, and step y equals delta y and int steps actually is this, so we can just divide by steps. And this should give me hopefully a correct point. And then another as well, I can say new vector 3 int positions equals new vector vector 3 int steps. Let me think, if there's no difference in x and y, then it will be 0. If there is a difference of 1, then the array will be 1 as well. So maybe I have to remove remove one of it. Okay, and here I have to do debug.log position. Okay, and then I return positions. Okay, and where does this one fill in? Oh my god, this really needs to be cleaned up. Is this actually still being used? Update. Clear highlights. I think it is must be used because otherwise nothing would work. Make points read only. Don't I clear? Don't I do clear, but of course clear is not the reassignment. Maybe he's right. We'll see if that works. So we have clear highlights of this value. Get mouse button 0. That's the left click. The left click is being, there has been clicked. This is when the left click is released. Yes. And where is my hover? Weird. If get mouse button 0. Ah, there is no hover as a point. There is no action yet for hover. I can click and then it doesn't do anything. Then I have to click again. Yes. Okay. And then I probably should actually if point dot if it is empty, size length. What's this? Is it an array? I already forgot what I actually need. It's a list. Okay. C# list. With which methods do I have on the list? We have a count. Probably already used it somewhere. I must have used it somewhere. Here, if points.count equals 0. That is so. Yeah, okay. If points.count not 0. I'm really curious to know what actually would he do if points, and I just return. Nothing to be done anymore. Otherwise, I do this. If is valid line thingy with the last one with this, then I don't do this. No, I will highlight it. I say highlight. So this is the first step. So what does that mean? It means that now it should highlight the point. I'm not sure if I... Okay, yeah, so this, yeah, that's because I don't clean my previous highlighting. Yeah, okay, that's okay, that's still an interesting thing. And I should say highlight line, I guess. And I have also the clear highlight line, which I'm not going to use yet. But I don't want to highlight the cell position. I want to highlight the line. Yeah, so maybe actually doesn't even matter how much that I have the last one included as well. Where's my highlight methods? Highlight, okay. And then here I have a highlight. Maybe I'm not gonna call it line. If overloading is supported, which it should be, then this actually makes better. You have a highlights from last to thingy. Okay. So what they do, it says positions, get line positions, yes. And then fun fact, the thingy doesn't even matter that much. My z's because it's highlight. And then I should also do clear highlight, but not line. Change my mind on that part. Okay. Is there actually no positions each or something for each? For each, I assume it's just. Oh, that's a statement I don't think is invalid. No, I might have to look into that in C# to see whether you also have some streaming or some integrated for. It's interesting. Here actually uses the length and not the count. Because it's another list. It's an array. Yeah. Yeah. So being said here as well, I could write a separate highlight method, which works differently. Instead of set out affix, set out color, whatever, and those kind of things that it does, it's all for a list. But this should work hopefully. It says I have an error. So, I don't see it. Or is it just saying that I modified it with this color? 13 problems. Okay, the problems are not an issue. No overloads for method highlight takes 2 arguments. Here is my error. I'm pretty sure there is. What do you call... my bad. Oh my god, I can't type. And that's also clear. Highlight, not... Oh my god, even here it's also wrong. Yeah, okay, so it's highlight, not height light. Okay, so this should be good to go now. And this should result in an actual highlighting. Not yet clearing, which I think we should do. So done. And oh, that's interesting. Why is he not? Okay, what do we have here? Attempt divide by 0. And that's probably because of my line positions. If start X and start Y. Yes, if I'm on the same point and I say it's a valid line. So I should say. Okay. If both are null, then it's false. I'm gonna duplicate the logic. Return. I'm gonna return an empty array. Okay, that will help. So then we say start -4, -1, 0, -3, -1. That's the end. And then he adds -4, -1, 0. Why does this stop there? Because my step is 0. Yeah, I start counting from 0, so I will always include the first point, which even doesn't make any sense. Step should not start at 0, then step has to start at 1. And then maybe I can keep steps the correct one. I start at 1, so I add 1. But then in here, why did it log end again? It should not log end twice. It logs this a lot of times. Oh, excuse me. Unity, you're very nice in your hot update. What? Start, end, okay. So I do end. For some reason, it doesn't log start. Ah, that's because start is always the same. Yes. Okay, my start is always the same, so it logs this 100 times. -2, -2, -1, -2, and then it says -3, -1. Why? Because the difference is 1, so it will see a difference of -2 to -1. Start x minus end x. -2 minus -1, so that's +1, this is -1. Ah, the sign is even wrong. I should do end x minus start x. Because we're going to interpolate. In here, it doesn't really matter too much because you only care about 0 and non-zero values. We do check absolute values, so I mean, like, that doesn't matter there. Here, it does matter because interpolation, it depends where you start. You should end minus start, because otherwise start plus, and if you do start plus end minus start, then those cancel each other out and you end at end. In the previous part, it would have been 2 start x minus end x, which didn't, which is mathematically not correct. So, okay. So for some reason, it still gives wrong values. Annoying, I can't even, okay, I'm gonna do here on the bottom. Okay, this is good. So this is log. I see, here I go, start, end, yes. So -4, -6 to -3, -5. And then I do position -4, -6, which is still wrong, it's still start. How come it still be start? My step should be bigger, no? I have steps of, why do I a plus? Math apps delta x plus math, I do divide by 2, that's not even correct. This should be the max of the apps. Okay, so then my steps is correct. I don't care because I'm also going to do diagonally. I increase both x and y at the same interval. Okay, so it's mathematical calculations, always fun. That's clear, otherwise I don't understand the board anymore. Okay, so I have start, I have end, -3, -1. Okay, that's where I went by accident, because diagonal is almost impossible to do. So I do here -3, -2 to -2, -1. And then I go to -1, 0. Actually, there should be nothing in between here. -3, -2. That's probably because I don't start. I do start here. I start x. And what is my step is 1. Step x, but my steps, how many steps do I have? Steps, and then I should say name, not more. Step x plus okay. Let's see if I can figure this one out. Click. I also don't understand why it's actually painting 2 there. Okay, so I have steps 2, step x is 0, step I is 1. Why is that correct? I don't see why, again, this should be 2. How can that be 2 steps? Step x 0, step I is 1. So that makes sense. In x I have to change nothing, I have to change 1. That makes sense. My end is 2 minus 2 0. My start is minus 2 minus 1. End minus 2 minus minus 2. That should be 0. Okay. And y is minus 1 minus minus 0. That should be only 1. Okay, I'm going to take a short break. I'll be back soon.